obvious that we're living in very special times. The world around us appears to be in a chaotic situation. Nations are fighting nations, people are fighting people. Conflicts, wars, ideological conflicts, religious-based conflicts. Unfortunately, people, and too many people, are paying with their lives. We see bloodshed all over. Kids are being murdered. Mothers, young women, men, adults. What is going on? What is going on in God's world? In the land of Israel, where we are based. In the Middle East. The world over. Too much hatred, too much bad. What are we doing about it? We have a very clear answer to that. We have a very clear agenda given to us by God Almighty in the Bible, in the Torah, in the 5 books of Moses. God is instructing us to always increase in good, always add in good. It is each and every one of us personal responsibility to add, to increase in good deeds, to influence others to do the same thing. It's so crucially important. Systematically, God is instructing us to follow, to observe the 7 Noahide laws. What are those laws? 6 of them, the first 6 were given to Adam, the first created human being, thousands of years ago. 10 generations later, all the 7 Noahide laws were given to Noah himself after the flood, to him and to his children, to his descendants, to all humanity, to observe. 17 generations later, they were given again to all humanity at Mount Sinai. When we received the Torah, where millions of people were there to witness this lofty, godly revelation, one-time revelation, in which the Torah was given, the 10 commandments to the Jews, and the 7 commandments to all humanity, to each individual to keep. What are those laws? The first law, the first commandment, is regarding idolatry. Not to worship idols. Not to bow down to a man-made image or figure. It's simply connected to the belief, the understanding, the recognition in the unity and oneness of God. The one God who created this entire being, this entire universe, this complex creation. The one and only God that ever was and ever will be. Nothing besides Him. The second commandment is blasphemy. Is a prohibition regarding cursing God, God forbid. God has granted us human beings the power of speech exclusively. No animals, no plants can speak. He wants us to speak good. God forbid we should use this power of speech to curse Him, to speak not positively about Him. We should always speak positive, good words, and think good also. The third commandment is regarding the prohibition of murder, killing. We're not allowed to kill anyone, God forbid. We're not allowed to separate a soul from a body of any human being. God is the only power that can connect soul and body. Who are we to, God forbid, separate? We're not allowed to kill ourselves as well. Not to self-suicide, not to kill embryos. The fourth commandment is to do with respecting property of other people. It's a prohibition regarding theft, robbery. We're not allowed to take someone else's property, misuse it, take it without his permission. We should respect the property of others. The fifth commandment is regarding adultery. It's a prohibition regarding having sexual relationship in a prohibited way, intimacy in a prohibited way, inside the family or outside the family. On the contrary, we should promote family values, husband and wife only, to have proper relationship, intimacy, to bring children into the world, and not in any other way. Family is a very holy thing we should respect, keep, and strengthen. The sixth commandment is the prohibition regarding eating a limb removed from a living animal. We're allowed to eat meat if we want, but we have to make sure that the animal is dead first. In the Jewish tradition, of course, we know that we have to slaughter it properly in a kosher way. It has to be kosher meat. But all human beings can eat meat, no problem. God allows that. But please, make sure that the animal was killed first. The beast, in the most humanitarian way. Don't harm it. Should be cruel. On the contrary, we should be very merciful towards all of God's created beings. And the seventh commandment is to establish courts of justice. Establish courts, spiritual courts, to lead us, to instruct us positively. Through God's words and God's wisdom in the Torah, in the Bible, through the 7 Noahide laws, in every town, in every country, in every city. To make sure that we live proper spiritual life in this world. And in the merit of us keeping those 7 laws. All over the world, in Israel, in the Middle East, in every part of the world, we shall merit the immediate redemption of the world. It will be a total world of good as God intended it to be in the first place. Maimonides, the famous sage who lived 800 years ago, Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon, the Rambam, Maimonides, he's teaching us that any person from the nations of the world who keeps those 7 laws, because he understands that this is what God commanded in His Torah, he has a share in the world to come. Olam haba. And definitely we're promised that if we all add and increase in good deeds, including the 7 Noahide laws, of course, we'll reach those special lofty days immediately, very, very soon in our times.